Hey man, hey, we done finally did it, man. Hold on, let me do this. Cheers, man. Cheers. Cheers to you. Cheers to me. This podcast has been in the making for a long time. Like a long time. You'll get to know my story and you'll get to know more about me as the podcast grow and continue. I am a broadcast journalism major, although I do teach elementary PE. But this has been something that I used to do a lot, and I just kind of went away from it. And then after seeing so many people do it, I got discouraged. This is matter of fact, this is what this first episode is going to be about because it's about me. I'm gonna have guests. Man, let me tell you something. If you just stayed here and grow, you don't even have to invest money. I don't want that much time. I'm not even going to ask you to subscribe or anything. I just want you to view it, judge for yourself, and pass it along to somebody else. You know what I'm saying? But this first episode is just kind of getting to know who I am. All right. You see my shirt? I'm trying to tell Elizabeth did the shirt. So I'm trying to tell you, I've been trying to do this for a long time. Some of y'all have been on my Instagram page and have seen the podcast coming soon, and it's finally here. Now, this is the thing about my podcast, right? So I was starting to get discouraged. That's what I was going with. Hold on. I was starting to get discouraged, and the reason why I was getting discouraged wasn't necessarily because I didn't think I can do it. I think I can be great at this podcasting. Like I said, I used to do it a lot, especially in college. But I just I saw too many people doing it, and I saw a lot of people doing it, from A-list celebrities to A-list athletes to B Z-list people or just any old body. And just through my own circle of networking people and friends, they would say, "Hey, man, some of the conversations, some of the things you say, some of the stuff you talk about, some of the insight you got, some of the things that you connect, you should really be doing a podcast. Like, you're real good at talking to people. You have a nice voice, and I think you should do a podcast." And I was like, "Yeah, you know what? I used to do that. I think I'm gonna go ahead and do a podcast again. I think I'm gonna really take it serious this time." And I got my own inner circle of friends that kind of push me along the way, and I asked them to keep me accountable because this wasn't about to become. All right, this was not about to be what it is finna become to be or fin to be soon. Because I don't like, and maybe I'm that type of person, and you might be that type of person too. I don't like to do something that's a fab or that's popular or that everybody's doing, even if it's something that I know how to do, or even if it's something that I kind of got an interest like or hobby in. I don't like to jump on to seem like I'm jumping on the bandwagon of what's hot right now. All right. And everybody's doing podcasts now. Everybody. And it seems like a lot of people are not going towards their own avenue of what they're good at. Now they're just doing podcasts. You got people that cook doing podcasts. You got real estate agents doing podcasts. You got people that podcast about how to do illegal stuff, like breaking into cars and things like that. So for the longest, I would say like, nah, I'm not gonna do it. I'm not gonna jump on this podcast. I'm not gonna do it. And then I had a dream one night of me actually doing a podcast, and I was excited. I was happy, and I wasn't doing it for the cheers or an encouragement of other people. I just was doing it because I wanted to, and it was something that I just really wanted to do because it's in me to do. It's coming out of me all the time. So here I am, Oddly Even podcast, the Oddly Even. So let me tell you about Oddly Even podcast. Why I chose the name Oddly Even. Sometimes, well, what I notice in podcasts, okay, especially interview podcasts, a lot of people are opinionated, and then a lot of people, speak their perspectives. However, they try to drown their guests, or they belittle, or they make their guests feel bad when their opinion or their perspective doesn't match that of their own. I don't care about that. I like good conversation. You know, I like to speak to people who are different. I like to speak to people who are odd. I consider myself odd. I'm 6'6". Wasn't really good at basketball, but I was very athletic. Was able to get a track scholarship. But it's a lot of avenues in life that I took that were odd based on what people said I should have been doing and what I felt like I should have been doing and things like that. So that's what the odd part is. I believe I'm odd. Even on my team at school, we call ourselves the oddballs. You know what I'm saying? We're different. As a special teacher, especially if you're an art teacher, a music teacher, or if you're a PE teacher, or a theater arts teacher, or a dance teacher. You know, you're odd when it comes to education. Education is all about math, reading, arithmetic, writing, spelling, science, language art. All of these academic things. Whereas we deal with the creative people, we deal with the athletes, we deal with the people who hear a sound of music and they want to create it with an instrument, or they see an image and they want to redraw it, or they have the vision and they want to display it theatrically. That's the odd stuff about us, and I'm very much an odd person, you know. And so I chose oddly even because the even part of that is I know how to bring it all together. Just looking at me, you may not know my background and my story, and then you'll get to know it if you stay along with this. But I've been in TV. I've been on TV. I've been the beat that beat you here as my intro. I made that. I produced my own music. I used to produce music back in the day. I used to rap back in the day. I used to ghostwrite back in the day. Um, I drew. I like to draw. I draw a lot. I took a lot of pictures. So it's just one of those things to whereas I like to display my creativity, but I like to be amongst other creative people that not necessarily have the same creative talent as myself. You know what I'm saying? So that's what oddly even is. All right. It's when you're different, but you balance your difference. And then the tag of my show is counterbalance to the normal or counterbalance the normalcy. All right. I don't when I start having guests and I got guests lined up. Interesting guests. All right. I don't need a celebrity. I don't need any of that type of stuff. I have people just within my own circle who are millionaires, who are self-made millionaires, who are go-getters, business starters, tax people like real estate agents. Um, who else? I got a very very dope basketball trainer. I also have people that are in the fitness. I also have people that are different. Some people who don't believe in God. Some people who are homosexual, or some people who don't necessarily have a brighter view of life. But I just want to explore their thoughts and their world and bring it to you because they may say something that you can identify with, or I may say something that you can identify with. So that's what Oddly Even is about. That's my intro. All right. Now let's get into a little bit of who this person is that's talking on this microphone. My name is Jonathan. All right. I go by many names. Many names. For the many places I've been, I've always had a nickname. I go by Jonathan, government wise. I go by John Munn. That was my radio name. Um, I go by Jelly Bean. I go by J Champ. I also go by J Chap because my lips used to always be dry, and they used to call me J Chap a lot. I have a chapstick somewhere. I try to keep it always, but yeah, my lips used to always be dry. JSL. When I thought I was like this smooth dude, I used to call myself John Smooth Lover. That's what JSL means. I took a note from LL Cool J. I go by Big Knees. That was my track name. Um, and the list goes on and on. This goes on and on. But I'm a comedic person. I have a humorous way of looking at life and death. Um, I've even gotten up at a funeral of a very, very close friend that we made our family. I got up there and started ranking on the church and ranking on the organ player, ranking, scoring, dozens, all that, whatever you want to say. People that was there know what I was doing. Or people who was there know the story. But yeah, I have a very obscure, humorous look on life. And then the other tagline to my Oddly Even podcast is "We're just talking." Because at the end of the day, we're just talking. I just want to have a conversation with someone who's unique in their own way and who don't mind um, expressing their own uniqueness. All right, like I said, you don't got to be a celebrity. You don't got to be popular. You don't got to be someone who is on the forefront or in the fore picture of things, and everybody know who you are. You this big figure just by your own presence. You could be someone who's introvert. Introverted people are very dope to talk to. I don't know if you ever had just a discussion with introverted people. They observe people a lot. And an introverted person has a lot of opinions because they spend most of their time in here. All right. They talk to themselves a lot. I'm introverted and I'm extroverted. I can be a wild boy. And people who know me know that. If you know how I used to be back in the day, I was a little wild. I was like a step under breaking the law. Like there's a lot of things I used to do that they were like, if you'd have did that, you would have went to jail. Like I was always a step under breaking the law. But no, I found my way to balance. I found a balance of my odd and my evenness. You know what I'm saying? So I want y'all to grow with me. I really do. This is going to be an interesting platform. This is going to be an interesting podcast. I'm an interesting person, I believe. And I think if you just sit here for a minute and you just chill with me, you'll understand exactly what I'm talking about. And maybe you might be on here. And speaking of on here, let me revert back to the beginning thing that I kind of just deviated and got away from of me kind of almost not doing this. All right. And then, so not only was I discouraged by how many people were doing podcasts and things like that, I didn't want to seem like, oh man, you trying to be just like such and such. Or oh, you trying to be just like them over there. Oh man, you took your whole layout from blah, 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 blah. No, I didn't. This is just me. And that's why I went ahead and started. This was supposed to start on my birthday, which is January 8th. Capricorn? You a Capricorn? You're a Capricorn. Capricorn is all year long, ain't it? It's all year long. It ain't just for this month of January. Capricorn is January through December, all year long, all year long, 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 long. All right, but also I was discouraged because I didn't have my set. All right, like this background. This is a real background. This is my wall. All right, that's my line. And I always keep a lion around. If you, I ain't gonna do no tour of my place, but I have like seven different pictures of lions around my place because as an oddly even person, I try to find a balance between being a lion and being a lamb. All right, and I'm not gonna go biblical with it. I'm just going straight life perspective. There are times where you do have to turn the cheek, and you do have to, okay, cool. And you got to be a lamb about things. You got to be soft. You got to be gentle. You have to be averted, crisis averting, and things like that. And then there's sometimes you got to be a lion. And I needed to have that reminder. I needed to have the reminder of this thing, this person, this lion. Because sometimes you do have to just establish your dominance in certain things. Not saying you got to be cocky or conceited, but sometimes you just need to remind yourself of how powerful you actually are. Okay, and I needed that. I was going through a period where I was kind of soft, shy, uh, non-confrontational, um, kind of really. And I used to let people walk over me a little bit, and times times I will hear like, why you letting people do that, or why you act like that, or why you let them talk to you like that, or why you let her treat you like that. And it's because I was raised as a lamb, to be soft, to be gentle, to be loving, to be, oh, no, no, it's okay. No, it's all right. But in at times you got to be a lion. You know, a lion, for whatever the reason they do or don't do, a lion with war. Forgive my Texas slang. A lion with war, and it's like whether they're doing it because they sense that there's a threat nearby, or whether they're doing it because they just need to exercise that ability in their throat to just let people know, hey, this is how I am. I'm all that, Um,
You know what I'm saying? It's always somebody that's hold on. Hey, you, do you know how to do anything? Do you know how to do something that you want other people to know that you know how to do? Let me know. I can tell people. Like right here is when I want to start putting in like advertisements or whatever. Look, I won't charge you and you don't pay me. You know what I'm saying? It's just street networking. Basically word of mouth. I'm trying to be the mouth of your word. So if you know how to do, I know somebody that know how to just cut hot water on. All right, she know how to just cut her hot water. So that's somebody I know. You might just one day need hot water cut on. I know somebody that can shave pit bulls. No other dog. He can shave pit bulls, and he do it with a scissor. He do it with scissors and a needle and thread. I don't know what he's doing, but he can shave pit bulls. It don't even look like they lost any hair. So if you know how to do something, and you want other people to know you know how to do it, let me know. All right, I'm trying to help. All right.
but I had to find my inner war, and it took a little bit, and I'm still looking for it. And some of y'all might be like that too. I'm here to encourage you to find your inner war. If there's something that you want to do, and you want to do it in here, you want to do it in here, and you want to do it in here. When those three things line up. When your mind lines up with your heart and it lines up with your work, there's nothing that nobody can stop you from doing. Nobody can tell you nothing. Nobody can stop you from doing it, and nobody can take that from you because you know it, you feel it, and you create it. All right, your mind, your heart, and your hand. If you can line those three things up with whatever thing you got on your vision board, with whatever thing you're trying to plan to do, with your next job, with your next relationship, with your next endeavor. If all three of these things line up, nothing can stop you. Sometimes we have it all in here, and that's another thing. I'm a huge thinker. I'm a huge creator. If you tell me something, I can give you a whole plan of how it can work for you, and then you'll be like, "Well, why don't you do that for yourself?" I don't want to do it. I have a lot of great ideas up here. That's when my mind is more powerful than anything else. And then there are times where I feel things. That intuition is a word for a reason. It's a real word for a reason. There are times where I will feel something deeply and I ignore it, and then it'll come out in the universe somewhere else, and I'll be like, man, I had that same thought the other day. I didn't do nothing about it. Or I'll be having this feeling to create, to do, or to not do. That's the one thing. I be having the feeling because I tell I used to be wild, and I'm better now. I used to be wild, but I would have these thoughts to not do something, and I would still do it. And then the next thing I know, my mind is telling me you had a feeling that you shouldn't. Like, here's an example, and it's a simple example. It's not gonna be deep. I was holding my phone in one hand. I had my keys in one hand. I had my backpack on my back, and I had a cup in my mouth, holding it like this, trying to walk out the door and lock the door. Um, I had a feeling that I was going to drop the cup, and I kept telling myself, put the cup down, lock the door, pick the cup up, walk onto the car. But I was like challenging myself, like, no, I can hold it. It's in my like the cup. The cup is halfway. Well, not half. The rim of it's a glass. I can't show. But like I had it like that, like this, like right. And I'm telling myself, like I hear my inner voice and my feelings saying, "You finna drop this cup," and I'm like, "Nah, you don't drop this cup." So I went ahead, locked the door. Soon as I locked the door and turned around, what do you think happened? The cup fell straight to the ground. That's why you gotta know how to listen to that small voice. That small voice sometimes is the biggest giant in the world that you're afraid of. All right. It's sometimes it's anxiety, sometimes it's something else, but mostly it's just fear, or it's a little it's something different, and you don't want to listen to that, and you're challenging it. All right. Then it's these hands. All right. Whatever you can touch, feel, has a physical presence, like that's real. So I'm saying that to say if you can line up a thought with the way you feel and your hand, you got something that can't nobody take away. And it's gonna be great. It's gonna be really great. I'm gonna keep this one short today. All right. I'm gonna try to drop a new podcast every Monday. All right. Every Monday. I think this podcast is gonna drop on the 31st. 31st. Yeah. That's not Monday. Wait, what day is it? That's what I need to know. The 31st is Wednesday. Wednesday not a bad day. I could drop every Wednesday I'll be adding a new podcast. All right. Adding a new podcast. And it's gonna get better. It's getting better. It's getting better. I just had to do this one is a victory for me, even though is not glamorous. You don't see all of that. You don't see me next to somebody having a huge interview. I'm not displaying wealth and jewelry and Gucci, Vanni, Da Vinci, Fendi, whoever all that other stuff is. This is a huge victory for me because I had a lot of self doubt. That's all that stuff that I spoke about earlier was self doubt, right? Self doubt. That's you. That's you being your own enemy. That's you being your own hater. And sometimes we are our biggest hater, like for real, for real, for real. And that's something we got to really deal with as a society. Like we sometimes are our own hater. You doubt yourself. You question yourself too much. Even when you know it and you feel it and you can touch it and put it together, you still doubt yourself. It's like a free throw shot. Even sometimes it'll get you when the game ain't online. But if you could think about the pressure of a championship game and you just got fouled, y'all are down 1 point. You finna get two free throw shots. These are the same free throw shots. Forgive me for the sports analogy. I know some of y'all may not be sport people, but bear with me. This is the same free throw shot you practice all the time. This is the same free throw shot you just shot um while ago when they fouled you in the first quarter, when they fouled you in the second quarter, and then when they fouled you in the third quarter. But this fourth quarter free throw shot is different because now you're in your head, right? You're in your head. You got thoughts of missing the shot. You got thoughts of oh, if I miss this shot, we're gonna lose the game. We're not gonna win this game if I lose this shot. If I miss this shot. So you end up missing it because you hated on yourself. You self doubted yourself out of making the shot. All right. And I was doing that. I was doing that a lot, especially with this podcast. I did that a lot. I was like, nah, it ain't gonna look right. Ain't nobody gonna want to watch it. Ain't nobody gonna want to be on it. I ain't gonna get no celebrities. I ain't gonna get. But then I had to go back to my core understanding of what this podcast is about. It's about the everyday people. It's about the everyday person. It's about everyday conversation. It's about the fact that I may say something to you, and you may say something to me, and we may not agree, but we can still have that conversation, right? And I can't wait for it to grow. So that's why I had to do it. I had to do it to put it out. It was for myself, and it was for my group of circle, my circle group that kept saying like, "You said you're gonna do it. We ain't seeing you do it. You keep talking about your podcast, but we ain't do it. You need You need friends like that. All right, we all need friends that's gonna challenge us according to our capability, not what you are able to do, but what you are capable of doing. All right, I may be able to do 25 push-ups nonstop, anytime, any day, any place, any weather, any set of clothes, any condition, sick, not sick. I can do 25 nonstop push-ups. That's what my ability is. My capability could be 26, 27, 28, 30, 35, 40, 50 at one time. And we're pushing for capabilities, all right? Bringing capabilities into our everyday reality. Cool, cool. Well, I'm glad. Hey, listen, 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 listen. I'm glad you are here because I'm telling you, if I could show you the book is dope. The book is like everything that this podcast is gonna cover as it gets going. All right, I needed to just push it out there. Okay, some people like pulling the tooth. It's been wiggling for the longest. It's been ready to go, and I just been doing that. You know that thing when they're and your tooth loose and you just keep, but you don't want to pull it. Yeah, I think it's right. I had to pull the tooth. I pulled it. Put that up under my pillow and hope something happened with it. But anyway, Oddly Even Podcast, every Wednesday, hosted by me. Special guests coming soon. Amazing guests. Dope guests coming soon. People who don't necessarily get a chance to get their voices out. People who don't necessarily get a chance to get their story out. All right? Those are coming soon. And just funny stuff. Funny stories. I have a lot of funny stories and funny memories of things going on just in my own life as I live. You know what I'm saying? So this is also what I want to introduce in this first episode of my podcast, my pilot podcast. If you can, please send me information about um, what you do. All right, I'm based out of Dallas, based out of Texas, as whatever the southern region, but I'm based out of Dallas. Uh, I'm not asking for anybody to pay me to do anything. Neither do I want you to charge me to do anything either. But whatever you do, whatever your trade is, whatever your talent is, man, I have a cousin that's real good at pressing, like shirts and jerseys and logos and promotional stuff. Real good at it. You may not see his commercial on TV. If you're on Instagram and you kind of good in the urban area, you might know about his stuff. I have an uncle that's really good at pest control. I have friends that do life insurance. Um, People that do car detail, mechanics, people that sew, seamstress, like a lot of things. I just want to introduce them to you and you to them. So send me something. Send me something so that during my podcast I can stop and be like, hey, you need to get your hair braided like mine. Like I got this bird nest. Contact Cockatawa Wapachapa. She braid or he cut hair or whatever. Or you need to get some bricks, not drugs, bricks. Do you need some bricks to help your house, your foundation off? Do you need to build a house? I know somebody that got the mason work over here and all that. Oh, if you're in Oklahoma, I have some dope people in Oklahoma as well that can help you out. So let me go on. I'm gonna end this podcast like this. This is just supposed. This is really just a jump into the deep end and an inspiration of me to me, from me to me. I guess I can say it like that. I hope I inspire you. If I don't inspire you today, if you continue to keep watching, I guarantee you something I say gonna inspire you to be who you are. Some of us just kind of need a reminder. You know, like on Black Planet, Black Planet. Yeah, I remember Black Planet. Mm. Uh, Black Panther is what I was trying to say. When T'Challa was fighting, forgot that. Michael B. Jordan character, Killmonger. When T'Challa was fighting Killmonger, and he was losing. Killmonger was side note. Killmonger had every ethnic person going to the neighborhood braider slash lock technician asking for the Killmonger situation because people have had locks before, and you got to say locks because a girl jumped on me for saying dreads, and she was like, "Yo, you ain't dreading." Okay, I got it. People have had locks before, but it was something about the way Michael B. Jordan had his locks on in the Black Panther. I'm a straight heterosexual male. I could be an alpha male at times. I'm straight and I'm good. However, I know I wasn't the only dude that when he took the mask off and was walking, I was like, "What? You can do your hair like that?" He he had like five of them right there, and it looked different, and it was a look that I saw a lot of people trying to grab. A lot of people trying to get the Killmonger. Anyway, I digress. So when T'Challa was getting beat by Killmonger, his mama said, "Remember who you are." Like she was saying, like, "Remember who you are. Don't don't forget who you are. Just because you're going through these circumstances, and just because you're losing at the current moment, and just because it don't look good in your favor right now, don't forget who you are. All right, you still you, you still you." So here I am with this podcast.
Oddly even podcast. Oddly even podcast. Oddly even podcast.
I jumped into the deep end. I did it. It's coming out. I got guests on the way. This is just for y'all to see who I am, and just for y'all to know that it's real. All that podcast coming soon talk is for real. My background may change. My location may change. Uh, but the nature of this podcast won't change. It's oddly even. I'm out looking for the people who are different, the people who are odd, and the people who know how to even their odd. All right, the people who don't mind sharing their story, or even if you kind of hesitant about your story, the conversation will soothe you into to talking about your story. You understand what I'm saying? All right. Speaking about the T'Challa thing has brought up a certain topic in my mind that I was about to close. How long we been talking? We ain't been talking that long. I was about to close, but I'm gonna say this, and I need to know because I've noticed that among the male community, I would say the male community, it has become less and less and less of an issue for men to talk about women with weave, track, quick weave, sew ins, glue, wigs, because these dudes is sitting in these barber chairs putting fake hair in their head, not just not just like I got like not just like I got a little bit of hair right here and I want to have long hair. So can you put some extensions in my hair to make my braids look long? Not that. Like people with the baldy, like with the baldies, putting a whole slab of hair right there and walking out with a high top curl, with a drop top fade, and with a with a 360 wave. Ladies, are y'all all right with that? Like, has anybody asked ladies, women, like, seriously, are y'all? Because me, let me tell you something. We was on y'all. Some it's a small percentage of men that still I want the natural woman. I want the long, silky golden hair. I want the good hair. I want the long, curly, chili hair. Chili was the hair. I don't even know how Chili became the hairstyle, the girl from TLC, but we was like, we want the chili hair. If you ain't got the chili hair, we don't want to talk to you. We want the water wave hair. Look like jam jelly all the time in your head. Ladies, are y'all all right with men wearing these fake hairs? or wearing like the dye around they stuff. Like, are y'all cool with that for real? That's why I don't go to barbershops. I cut my own hair. I cut my own hair for. All right, I got so much stuff to say. That's why I like. That's why I like it. So here's one of the reasons why I stopped going to barbershops. All right, I was supposed to say something and stop, but okay, I'm gonna go back to that. Here's the reason why I stopped going. Another reason why I stopped going to barbershops and cut my own hair. I had locks, and for 6 years or whatever, and I got accustomed to not going to the barbershop, getting my hair cut. Plus, I would always edge myself up anyway. And after cutting my locks off, I just learned how to do the hairstyle that fits the shape of my head, which is usually like a high top, drop, fade, or whatever. Um, but I remember sitting in the barber seat, right? Sitting in the barber seat, getting my hair cut. And the barber, my hands is on the thing like this. I'm tall, so my ligaments are long. My leg is long, my arms are long. So my legs is half. I got one foot on the floor, because he like for some reason the chair kept turning. So I put one foot on the floor to stop the chair from turning because I know he wasn't trying to turn the chair. And I had my hands like on the rest, and he was like doing like a little cut, a little fade up. I don't want to have these thoughts, and I don't want to be questioning what you doing when you close to me and you're supposed to be doing my hair. But I swear, he like as I had my hand right here on the armrest, I felt like he got his growing too close to my hand. You know what I'm saying? Fella, don't do that. Don't you do that. I'm not the only one that's been in the barber seat and felt like the barber got his midsection too close to the body. Because you in a chair that's been hydraulically pressed down, and the barber doing the up down stuff, and they get close to your elbow, they get close to your leg, they get close to your shoulder. I know I'm not the only dude that felt like the barber is too close to my body, like his growing, and so I felt like that, and I moved my hand over here, but I had the other hand still on the thing. So we getting cut, and it's that part where it's the boring part. So I'm not really paying attention. I'm kind of out of it, and I'm looking around and all that. And I swear he did the same thing on the other side. And I moved that hand, and then I said, "Hey, you about ready to work on the edge up? Because I think I don't know what are you drawing something? Are you putting a part in my head? Because you should be finished doing that part. I done seen the mirror. We done spunt around. I just didn't like that. That's not homophobic or nothing like that. It just made me feel weird that he got that. Like he was on. Like if this was my hand, I'm a forgive me. I'm gonna stand up. Let's say this is my hand. Like he was like he was doing that, like all up on me like that. Yeah, I did not feel comfortable. I told him to stop. So I've been cutting my hair ever since. Now back to it, ladies. Are y'all cool with the black dye and the wigs that these men are wearing? The wigs are getting out of control. The black dye should just stop. All right. I think, fellas, let's pick one. Okay. If you got to draw all that black stuff in your head, just stop. It's cut time. Just cut it off, or come up with a way to make it look nice, other than that all slick that it be looking like that black strip that you got electrical tape around your edge up. Don't do that. I mean, ladies, are y'all cool with that? Are y'all marrying a man with a wig on? When y'all go to the bathroom, you got your $500 silk weave out, B1 Yaki on your mannequin head, and and your Juliet Romeo and Juliet sink over on your husband, boyfriend side, he got a hot top, some braids, some locks, and a 360 wave on a mannequin head. Is that cool? Is that what we doing for the 2024? I just want to know. Not that it's gonna make me change anything. I just want to have a conversation with you to see if that's cool. Is it cool? I mean, if you cool with it, I'm not. That's one thing. I may laugh, but I'm not gonna make my opinion better than yours. If you cool with it, you cool with it. That's you and your life. When we die, I'm gonna die by myself. When you die, you're gonna die by yourself. So there's nothing about your opinion or my opinion that should change anything about your world or my world. All right, it's an opinion. It's my perspective. I just want to seriously know if y'all cool with it. All right, I think I've talked about it. So, I'll Even Podcast Show one is coming to an end. Now, if you made it this far, man, let me tell you something. I appreciate you. I really do. I just this is a genuine smile. Like I really appreciate you, and I can't wait for you to grow with me because I've already seen it. Like I said, I've been pushing this thing off for the longest, and I've already seen how it could be. Now, my next episode is going to talk about how sometimes we're ready, but we're scared that we're ready, and we're scared of success. There are some people who are scared of success, and they accept failure. They rather have failure than they didn't have success, right? The beats for sale. If you want the beat, I do have other beats. Artwork, Ollie Even. You got something better, send it to me. You want me to shout out your name? If you want me to shout out your business, if you want me to shout out your name, just to say who you are, hit me up and let me know. It's gonna be on my Instagram and it's gonna be on my YouTube channel. The YouTube channel is gonna be catered towards the Oddly Even podcast. My my Instagram is catered towards me as who I am. All right. All right. I said that, and I said that, and I said this, and I'm saying that. But thank you for being here. See y'all next week. See y'all next Wednesday. All right. My name is Jonathan J. Champ Bucarino. I forgot to say that. Oh, I don't know. Hey, if you ever hear the name Juan Montenegro, if you ever hear a legend of Juan Montenegro, that's me. All right. But I'll check y'all next time. Appreciate y'all staying. Appreciate y'all being here with me. Appreciate y'all doing y'all thing. And we'll be right back after these messages of your life. When you take a break, you come to my world. Oddly Even Podcast out.